Welcome back. In our top business story, the UAE economy is expected to grow by 4.2% in real terms this year, much faster than in 2010, helped by robust oil prices, the National Bureau of Statistics said today, citing preliminary data. Asked by Reuters about the key drivers of economic growth this year, Sufyan Dagra of the National Bureau of Statistics named, among other things, the increase in petroleum prices and the impact of diversification of the UAE economy. The UAE will also benefit from strong trade flows thanks to fast growth in Asia and a rise in tourists visiting the Emirates. The UAE's real GDP expanded by only 1.4% in 2010 after 1.6% contraction in 2009. Rating agency Moody's raised Dubai's Ema Properties ratings to Ba3 from B1 with a stable outlook. And also the B1 rating of Ema Sukuk Limited has been affirmed. The rating agency said the upgrades followed Ema's improved liquidity profile after it recently accessed debt capital markets and has established plans to arrange longer-term debt. And it had also improved its operating and financial performance on the back of increasing contributions from its recurring revenues. Additionally, Moody's confirmed the Baa2 rating of Dubai Bank following the announcement by the government of Dubai that the bank will be taken over by Emirates MED, the largest bank in the UAE by assets. Its rating was also affirmed. Emirates MED remains rated by Moody's at A3. Most commonly seen off the busy streets of Japan, snooze cubes can now be found at Dubai International Airport, which launched its own version of the sleeping capsules. Dubai's airport is the first in the Middle East to set up snooze cubes, which include a full-sized bed, a touchscreen TV, as well as high-speed internet. The cubes are also connected to the airport's flight information system and are soundproofed. 10 snooze cubes have been installed next to gate 122 at Dubai's Terminal 1 so far. They can be used on an hourly basis with rates starting from 65 dirhams per hour for the first 4 hours. And more third-quarter results around. Telecoms operator Etisalat has recorded a third-quarter net profit of 1.7 billion dirhams. That is a marginal 1% decline, the sixth in 7 quarters, as operating costs rose faster than income. The shares are down 0.1% on the ADX today. With that, let's now look at the stock indices across the GCC. In our world business news, Moody's will review France's AAA credit rating, the rating agency said, casting new doubt on Europe's hopes of drawing a line under its sovereign debt crisis 5 days before a crucial EU summit. Moody's said late on Monday it may slap a negative outlook on France's AAA rating in the next 3 months if the costs for helping to bail out French banks and other Eurozone members stretch its budget too much. French government bond yields shot up to a Euro lifetime high following the news. European Union leaders will meet on Sunday to announce new measures to protect the region's financial system from a potential Greek debt default. We earlier spoke with Tim Fox, chief economist at Emirates MED, and asked him what he thinks the outcome of the EU meeting on Sunday will be, what new debt-solving measures EU leaders will introduce to finally end the Eurozone debt crisis.
I think the markets are looking for progress on 3 key areas. The first is recapitalisation of the banks. The second is greater private sector participation in any Greek debt restructuring. And finally, looking for progress in terms of increasing the size and scope of the European Financial Stability Facility that is used to backstop other sovereign governments in the event of a Greek default. I think the expectations that the markets are wanting to see is that they would hope to see a solution that deals with all of these issues at the same time at the upcoming EU summit. However, the comments from German Finance Minister Schäuble recently have suggested that such optimism may be being misplaced, and he's trying to downplay expectations going into this meeting. I think in the event that nothing is delivered along those lines at the upcoming summit, expectations will then move on to the G20 meeting in early November. And I think the chances are reasonably high that the whole solution or the Eurozone crisis itself could still be rolling on with us through the rest of this year, and it may not be until 2012 that we do get some definitive solutions to this crisis, which has been going on for a number of years now.
The Eurozone debt crisis is taking its toll also on Asia. China's economy slowed in the third quarter to its weakest pace since early 2009 as the world's largest exporter feels the pinch of weaker trade with Europe and the US. Gross domestic product rose 9.1% in the third quarter from a year earlier. That's the third quarterly drop in a row. Some economists now warn of a hard landing of the Chinese economy. Officials, however, dismissed the risk of a sharp deterioration in growth and said the economy was stable. Fixed asset investments, the core driver of China's rampant economic growth, continued at a robust pace in the first 3 quarters of the year with annual growth of nearly 25%.
From our perspective, emerging markets is certainly likely to be the driver of future growth. So even if both Chinese growth is coming down somewhat and economic growth in emerging markets generally is coming down somewhat, we would expect emerging markets to be still the engine of growth for the global economy, and China remains a key part of that.
Before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil, precious metals and currency markets, and after that we have the day's sports news for you.